Okay, so I'm live there. Let me see what I can. Uh, can I go full page? Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Uh, this is not going to work, but we are going to do it. I wonder if I just start recording. All right. Hopefully, my audio doesn't sound horrible on one end and good on the other. Let me just double check. I'm gonna just make sure. I haven't done this. I'm rusty. I haven't done this in like over a year. It's been a long time since I went live. It's been a long time since the boy has went live. Long time. Oh no, we
Since the
good. We
boy
good.
has went.
We good. We good. Let me go ahead share this out. And we're gonna get started. We're gonna get started real soon. Let me go ahead and share this out. I feel like a brand new person. All right, let me share a couple more places, and it's lit. All right. Let me see one other place. All right. Let me see. All right, cause yeah, we want to get done. Let me hurry up and send this last one because we want to get done right before. We want to get done in 45 minutes. We want to keep. We're gonna start to keep these ones short and sweet. We're gonna keep these short and sweet for sure. We want to, you know, fill it out. First time back, basically getting prepared and everything, getting settled in, back to the formula, back to doing what we do. We used to get on here and talk my shit. It used to be so much fun too. Especially like when we had the bigger parties when we would have like 5, 10 people in here. So on the panel and people in the group chat, it was just fun. So let's get back to that. Go pin that. Yeah, pin that. All right. Let's see. Oh no, I don't feel like. All right, let me give it like a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna get it started. We're gonna get it started, and then I'm gonna chop this video down, and I'm gonna start putting it in clips and other shit, other places. So that's gonna be my job that I'm gonna be doing while watching the game, and of course taking my notes and stuff. Um, we're gonna be real much more detailed when we do things this year. Like that's just it. Just has to be like I want to be more detailed. I want to give anybody that listens to this podcast a real like point of view that is not like altered by other things. Um, I want to be sure to like, oh shit, Travis Kelsey is not playing. That's interesting. Uh, I wonder if that line changed. Let me check that. We do a lot of like gambling stuff. I don't really ever want to talk about fantasy football like on a podcast. I just don't think it's good. Like as far as like talking about your team or like even like for real, I think it's good for like the startup. But once the season actually starts, I don't actually think fantasy football talk is like that fun, unless you're talking with people that are in your league, your specific league. So that's what makes it fun, right? Is being able to like talk shit with the people that you're playing against and like usually your friends. Like I don't understand unless you doing it for like work. I don't understand the people that just be in 65, 75 leagues. It's so funny to me. This is a problem. All right. So that won't be a distraction. Let's get started. We're just gonna run down we're gonna run down the over unders for every team. And then I'm gonna tell you who I think is gonna make the playoffs. Super Bowl. We give you some picks about who I will be selecting for awards and etc. for NFL, and like basically give you my preview, a quick preview, but a preview nonetheless of what's going on in the league and what I think is going to be. So let's see. I wonder if we can do it by division. Let me see. All right. So I'm gonna just roll down these teams real quick. And no, I did not add them up. You a nerd if you do that. Yes, I think I'm right uh, about most of these. Of course, there are going to be some that I'm wrong on, but like I think I'll do a pretty good job when it comes to this. So we got the Dallas over and under is 9.5. I think this is like one of your for sure fired overs. Even like you could tell like some of these numbers, you could tell by what the minus number is, like how much has been bet. So like uh, a number like Los Angeles Chargers, right? That's minus 125 for the over under. Uh, this is not going to make sense to most people that don't bet, but to people that bet, they're going to understand this is a big difference. Their over under is 9.5. It's minus 128 for the over. For Dallas, is minus 162. That's like huge. That's like a big difference. Um, when it comes to these over unders about over and under. So you'll see we get down the line. We're going to see more things. But this is an over, hammer the over. If I had like disposable income right now, I would be putting lots of money on Dallas over. Um, San Francisco's over is 10.5. Their over is also minus 162. But I would be cautious with this one. They do have a shaky quarterback situation. I know Brock Purdy, yeah, he was a star last year, but it's just not the same. I will be cautious with that. I do think they go over, but I think they barely go over at 11 wins. And then let me go back. Dallas, I think, gets probably 11 wins as well. Pittsburgh's over under is 8.5. I'm going to go under. I know that's controversial, but I don't see their back seven being as good as people do on defense, and their offensive line is not as good either. Um, I think they're a little overhyped because of what they did in the preseason. I just don't think that reflects real NFL football during the regular season. So I picked them to go under. Seattle's over under is 8.5. I'm going to go over for them. I think their division is just going to give them 4 wins. And I think they're a pretty decent team, good offense, a lot of weapons. Defense is decent enough. They got a really good secondary, though, really good secondary there. So I think they go over. Buffalo's over under is 10.5. This is another tricky one because they could be due for some regression, but I'm going to go over slightly. I think they win about 11 games. Again, it's the same with Buffalo. Their offense is going to be really good. I actually like James Cook a lot. Like he could be a sneaky award winner like late in the season because I think he's going to get a lot of carries and I think he's going to get a lot of catches out the backfield. But I don't. Buffalo's defense is getting older by the year, and I don't necessarily trust them to get them to the next level as far as like Super Bowl. Um, Green Bay 7.5. This is like my biggest like hammer with Dallas. 7.5 is just low. I think they'll be better than that. I think they have a really good defense automatically, and I think Jordan Love is going to be a lot better than people think. Him sitting and like actually learning and like improving on the bench is going to be like, whoa, he's much better than we thought. Jacksonville over under is 9.5. I actually like I don't like this. I won't say I like the under, but I think I would go under. I think they're a 9-win team. I think they just beat the schedule last year. Like they were this was supposed to be the year that they saw incremental, like a lot of improvement, but they got rid of Urban Meyer and that just improved them so much. So I think they win 9 games and I think they slightly disappoint. I do think they're a good team, but I think they are a little hyped for right now. This is the fun one, right? Atlanta. This is a fun one. Atlanta at 8.5. And this line is like this only because of the schedule. They play like one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. I'm going to go under because I don't trust Ritter. I do think they have talent, but I think the talent is young and I think it's undeveloped. So I'm going to go under, but I do think they could be some exciting games in their division, but they have a horrible schedule. And then again, the Chargers, that was 9.5. I'm going to go over slightly. I think they get to 10 wins. We'll see if that gets them in the playoffs though, because the AFC is very tough. Tennessee 7.5. I'm going to go over. I think they just have a great coach and they have some weapons now. Of course, they have 2 good running backs. I know people don't know Tajay Spears yet, but you soon will. And don't let Derrick Henry go down because he might never get his position back. Because that boy they got a nice one as a backup running back right now. He's definitely going to come in and take over for Derrick Henry in a couple of years, if not this year if he gets hurt. With Hopkins at receiver, I think they have enough to get to. And their division isn't good either. I think they have enough to get to 9 wins as well. Chicago 7.5. I know that people are down on their division, but like I don't see 7.5. Honestly, I don't see Chicago winning more than 6 games. I do think they improve in some ways, but I just don't see them as being that good. Kansas City's 11.5. I can see Kansas City. Well, no, we're gonna stick to it. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Andy Reid. We're gonna go over. I think they win 12 games. Detroit, the Lions. I think they go under. I think they are now in team. I think they're a little bit overhyped as well. And we're gonna see that tonight. I think they're gonna get beat by at least a touchdown. Minnesota's over under is 8.5. I actually like them to go over. I like them to win at least 9 games too. Just still a lot of talent on that team, and I think they had a pretty good draft as well. Like Jordan Addison for them to replace what Thielen got them. I just think they have a good talented team and they have a steady quarterback and just weapons all over the place. The Jets is 9.5. I'm going to go over. As long as Aaron Rodgers is healthy, I don't see him winning under 10 games. So I'll go 10 with the Jets. The Colts is over under 6.5. I'm going to go under, but I can see them going over. Like I can see Anthony Richardson being a lot better than people think. The Giants over under 7.5. Wow. That's an interesting number. I'm going to go under. I think Daniel Jones regresses back to who he was before last year. I think he had a great season. I will not take that away from him, but I just don't think he's as good as he showed last year. And I think that's going to be a mistake for them paying him. The Dolphins over under is 9.5. I'm going to go over. I think they win 10 games. Just too good of talent on both sides of the football. Um, Denver, I'm going to go under. I do like some of the players on Denver, but I just don't trust Russell Wilson anymore. I don't think he has been a good quarterback for like the last 2.5 years. So I'm going to go under. But they could surprise me as well. New Orleans is 9.5. This is a crazy number, but I know why they did it. The division is that bad that they would do that. But I'm going to go under. I think they win 9 games, and I do think they win the division. But but them winning 10 games, I just cannot like bet on. Like that's a crazy number. Um, let's see, Commanders 6.5. I think they go over. I think they win 7 games. It's just too talented of a football team. I know the quarterback situation isn't ideal, but I don't mind their quarterback. I think he's actually pretty decent. Um, so yeah, I think your quarterback is actually pretty decent. So I don't mind that. Let's see who else. Phillies 11.5. I think they're over. I think they're the most talented football team in the NFL, and I think I don't, especially defensively. I don't think there are teams in the NFL that are more talented than them. Uh, the Vegas Raiders is 6.5. To me, this depends on the quarterback, right? If Jimmy G is healthy, or if Aiden McConnell or whatever his name is, if they start and just leave them in and go with them, I think they can win over 7. I'm going to go with them to go over. I think they can win 8 games. I don't think they're a bad team at all. I just think they had a weird season last year. Baltimore's over under 10.5. I'm going under for them. I think they are a 9-win team this year. Defense is going to be horrible. They're going to be in shootouts all year. The Browns over under is 9.5. Going to go slight over. I think we win 10 games this year. We will do a preview before Sunday's game. A Brown season preview. I'm going to talk about like all of the things that happened in the off season, any things that uh, we haven't got to discuss on here. It's been a minute. Uh, Rams over under 6.5. I'm going to go under, even though they have blue chip players. They already have one of them hurt. Going to see a specialist. Anytime a player is going to see a specialist is never good. Tampa Bay's over under 6.5. I'm going to go over. I think they win 7 games. I don't think Baker Mayfield is good, but I think the weapons are really good there. New England, I'm going to go over. I think they win 8 games. I don't think they're going to be anything special, but they're going to stink out some games, and they can't be as bad offensively as they were last year. I think the offensive coordinator had a big deal to do with that. Cincinnati's over under is 11.5. I'm going to go under. I think they win 11 games, not 12. I do actually think they'll start out slow too as well. Carolina's over under 7.5. Now, a lot of smart people are predicting that they win 8 games. I don't see that with the roster. I do think they have some really talented defensive players, but I just don't see how their offensive line stands up to be able to even do anything. Like, I don't know. I see them being in a lot of games, but I just don't see them winning a lot of games because they won't be able to put the drives together. Um, Also going to go under on Houston at 6.5 and under on Arizona at 4.5. Uh, I do think Houston is could be a tad bit better than we think, and I do not think the Cardinals will. I think they're going to be terrible. All right, so now if we go back through, so if we go back through and we try to make a quick bracket real quick of what I think is going to happen based off the over unders. Chiefs, Bengals, Beatles, Titans, Browns, Jets, Was it the Ravens? Ravens. No. Steelers. Chargers. All right. So AFC, it looks like if we go by what I said on over unders, we have Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Titans, Browns, Jets, Chargers as your playoff teams, and then NFC we would have. Let me see. Eagles, Packers. Packers, Saints. Then we have Cowboys, Vikings, Lions. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so my playoff teams and the seedings would go like this. It would be Chiefs, Bengals, Bills, Titans are the top 4 seeds. And then your 3 wild cards would be the Browns, Jets, and Chargers. And then in the NFC, I got Eagles, 49ers, Packers, Saints as your division winners. So that'd be your top 4 seeds. And then your wild cards would be the Cowboys, Vikings, and Lions. Uh, yeah, 2 teams from the NFC North would be strange, but I think the NFC East could cannibalize each other a little bit more. And then from this, first round matchups would be 49ers versus Lions, and I would have the 49ers winning, and Packers versus Vikings. I would have the Packers winning, and then Saints and Cowboys. I would have the Cowboys winning. So that would give us Cowboys versus Eagles uh, in the second round, which I would have the upset. I would have the Cowboys winning because they'll probably lose to them twice in the regular season. They'll beat them in the playoffs. And 49ers and Packers, I would have the 49ers winning. So we have 49ers Cowboys for the NFC Championship game. And I will have the Cowboys actually going to the Super Bowl, which is funny. But I do think it is one of these years is bound to happen. They just have so much talent. And I do believe in that talent this year. And they'll come out in a wild card. And then AFC Chiefs Chargers. I have the Chiefs. No, Bengals Chargers. I have the Bengals winning. Bills and Jets. I have the Jets winning in the playoffs because of Aaron Rodgers. And then Browns and Titans. I have the Browns winning. So that would be Browns versus Chiefs. Ooh. And I have the Chiefs winning. I want to pick the Browns very badly, but can't do it. And Bengals versus uh, Jets. I have the Jets winning, and then I have the Chiefs beating the Jets to go to the Super Bowl. So I have a Super Bowl Chiefs and Cowboys, and I think the Chiefs win again. I think Chiefs won't repeat this year. Uh, yeah, but I do think this is probably their last year, like on top. They're gonna have to do a little mini rebuild around Patrick Mahomes, but they'll have to do a mini rebuild after this year. So yeah, that's my NFL predictions. I really can't wait to start this. Watch these NFL games this year, especially tonight. Uh, this Lions Chiefs game could be a fun game. Could be a high scoring game. I don't think the Lions have fixed their defensive issues, but they can score. So that could be fun to watch. And I'm looking forward to seeing Jamar Gibbs. But if we want to go as far as like awards, I think Jalen Hurts will be the MVP. Offensive Player of the Year will be Nick Chubb. Um, Defensive Player of the Year will be Micah Parsons. Coach of the Year is going to be It's gonna be Stefanski. Um, if I had to pick a rookie offensive player of the year, it's going to be Bijan Robinson, and then rookie defensive player of the year is going to be. It's probably going to be Will Anderson because he's just going to rack up so many numbers. But I don't think he's going to be the best defensive player rookie. I think it's going to be a cornerback that shocks us. But yeah, that is my preview. Glad to get this out the way, knock off some rust. I'm going to chop this down a little bit and see if I can't make like 10 or 15 videos out of this so I can get back to editing and everything because we're going to be nice and crisp this year when it comes to all things YouTube. But that is everything I got. Again, if you watch this, like and subscribe, and then also follow me on X or Twitter at Say It Ain't Ted. Out.